It's a very humid, murky evening. There's quite a few rain showers around, but the wind is probably 4 or 5 miles an hour from the east. So I thought I'd go to the east field and have a flight, basically. So you can see the engine. I started the engine quite easily from cold on the fourth pull. Now I'm laying the wing out, and you can see that the lines are a bit tangled there. So I'm just pulling it up to have a look. So there's a bit of a tangle on the right hand side. So undo the tangle and then have another look, and all looks good. So let's get the wing laid out and go for a flight. Now this is where all the frustration started. It took me 11 pulls at this stage, and at that point I got very, very tired. I've cut a lot of this out, but I did get quite hot, tired and annoyed, so I decided to take the propeller off, and so I'm going back to the van, taking the prop off, and then warm the engine up again once the propeller's off. I never want to start the motor on the ground with the propeller on, so I'm starting it here with the propeller off just to warm it up. Left it there for a couple of minutes at idle. I didn't want to rev it too hard with no prop on there, because it acts as a flywheel. I don't think this engine's designed to be run without the prop on it. So anyway, it's idling, which is fine. And then once the engine's warmed up again, I'll go for another attempt. So put the prop back on and then go for try and get the engine started with the propeller on my back. So a lot more success this time. Got the engine started after a few pulls once it had been warmed up. So then let's just go for a flight. Here we are, just going for getting set up. Let's go for the run. And at this point, when I gave the engine power, although the engine was hot and was warmed up, the engine just cut out. So I was pretty annoyed at this stage because the grass is wet as well, so I'm trying not to keep the wing on the ground for too long. So bearing in mind that a very wet wing is hard to launch, and you need to be mindful of the brakes. You need to not put much brake input in. So here we go again. Relayed the wing out again, and let's see what happens. Yeah. So looking a lot better this time, and here we go, we're up. So that 3 minutes of footage was actually about 30 to 40 minutes of real time. So I was pretty happy once I'd got up in the air. And the guys on WhatsApp said, give us a call and do a live broadcast. I was quite happy to be up, so I did a little WhatsApp video call, which was a bit of fun. So the plan now was to go to Wimpole Hall and fly down the avenue, and then maybe come back, because it was getting late now and the sun was probably about 20 minutes away from setting. And at this point it started raining, so I thought, well, this is just not a very successful paramotoring evening. Let's just get a bit of altitude, have a look out over the countryside, and then just come in for a landing. So yeah, pretty annoyed at the whole thing, really. I should have just stayed at home. On landing, I thought what I would do is go for a touch and go. So you can see me on the landing thinking about a touch and go, but as I was coming in, I just thought, you know what, it's not been a very successful evening, so I changed my mind at the last minute and decided to not bother with a touch and go and just turn the engine off, and then just pack up and go home. So the flying time was only about 30 minutes, something like that, with a 30-40 minute setup time. So I'm going to look at the mixture and change the spark plug and see what happens next time.